Hello class, I'll be analyzing the 6 bad citations and just briefly explain why these are problematic. And so with each of the titles in MLA, when there is a title of an article or a chapter of a book or a page on a website, the entire title is capitalized, okay? And then also capitalized are the journal titles, so that's already done here. And so I have the cheat sheet actually on the assignment. It's also on the rubric. And so for journal titles, you simply copy this last name, first name, everything is capitalized. In italics is the name of the journal, and then it has to be lowercase, volume, period, 15, comma. So to get credit for your citations, you need to follow this format exactly, all right? And so if you have a chapter in an edited collection, so that means there's an editor, so then you have the title of that actual chapter, and then the name of the book, edited by, right? So you need all that information. Everything can be found, and as well if it's a website, it needs an access date. So you have the URL, there's a period, capitalized accessed, right? And so in doing citations, it has to be exactly as the way it's in the guidebook. That's how we as researchers know if something is a book, an article, or what have you, so we know how to look for it. Okay, so some of you, in doing your citations, either for this assignment or doing it for your own citations, you were confusing the publishing information or the publisher's information with the actual journal title. So you need to go onto the actual journal article, and usually journal titles are kind of obvious. Most say journal of, right? So you will look for that. And so here we have a website, but there's no access date, right? So it needed to have a period plus the access date. And that's when you went to the website, so that if you're doing this assignment to make up it, then it's today. And of course, these things need to be capitalized. So, and you don't need to memorize these rules. You just have to go to either the cheat sheet and do it, or you go to the website. The website is really easy to use. So you need to actually use the guidebook. So you can go to books to look up the books, or a chapter in an edited collection. So that's this one, a work in an anthology. If it's a dissertation, some of you have master's theses or dissertations, then you have to come down here and follow that format. If it's a journal article, like a scholarly journal article, so there's actual page numbers, meaning somebody out there actually printed it from their computer and it's sitting on some library. So then you go to periodicals and then you go and scroll down to scholarly journal article. Just because you got it off the internet doesn't mean it's an electronic source. That means that at some point we all create our writing on the internet, right? We use computers. And so if it has page numbers, that means it's been printed for real people to put on their shelves, and then you just happen to access the digital copy of it. If it's a journal article that's only online, it's never been printed, it's not on anyone's bookshelf, then and you would need to have things like the access date or whatever it is that it tells you to do. So whether it's an article in a scholarly journal, so it has an access date there, okay? But see, as you can see, there are no page numbers because this has never been printed for a library bookshelf. All right, so you have to look at the citations and understand what they mean. So it needs to make sense. Let me see. This one does have page numbers, and I'm not sure what this one. Oh, it says also appears in print. Again, just follow the rules, like whatever it says. In general, I always just stop it here because I follow the one that just says the one for the periodical. But again, I don't memorize these things. I just follow the guidebook, okay? So do as the website says for you to do. And that's it. That's all you have to do to correct these 6 bad citations. And this is an example here of the person confusing the publisher, right? Because journal articles don't have publisher. So I went to the article itself and I go to the top. I'm looking for a set of numbers that looks like volume. So here it goes. I see this thing in parentheses and this looks like page numbers. I scroll down and you're like, yep, that was page numbers. So whenever you see a group of numbers like that, then that's a dead giveaway that this is the journal information. So here it is, International Journal of Child Adolescent Health. All right, they just abbreviated it. And so you can copy what they have or spell it all out. And then that's volume 8, number 2. And then you would have to go PP period, and then you have the page numbers. Alrighty, so without further ado, that's it. So if today's the last day to get credit for this assignment, so if you want to correct your citations, again, using the cheat sheet is available to you, as well as the Purdue website. And please use the Purdue website for your own citation on your annotated bibliography.